Hey guys, JB here, and this marks my very first Destiny 2 tips and tricks video, and I am so excited to begin this journey with you all. I've got a lot of content planned for this first week and beyond. Just a heads up, this is your place for daily Destiny 2 content here on YouTube, so hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for Destiny 2 tips and tricks videos. Since the game just came out, I thought it would make sense to line out a few simple tips, helpful things to know for a head start in Destiny 2. Whether you're a veteran and played the first game, or you're just now getting into Destiny, these should be helpful for you. This first tip is very simple, but it's something that has changed from the first game and is fairly helpful when you're playing through the story. In Destiny 2, Bungie decided to switch up the way weapons are categorized. Instead of primary, secondary, and heavy weapons, we now have kinetic, energy, and power weapons. The kinds of weapons we'll find in each category are different now too. Kinetic and energy weapons represent the vast majority of weapons and share the same weapon types. For example, you'll find kinetic auto rifles as well as energy-based auto rifles. On the other hand, power weapons are in a class of their own. Fusion rifles, shotguns, and grenade launchers are exclusive to the power category, including many more, and are much more powerful than the other categories. Since power weapons are so strong, you'll want to know exactly how to get ammo. And in Destiny 2, there is a very definite way of doing that, and that's by killing elite enemies. Any enemy with a yellow bar is considered elite in this game, and another way to tell is if they have some kind of fancy name attached to them. So if you see either of those, you know you're fighting an elite. Oftentimes, it makes sense to pull out your power weapon in order to defeat these enemies because they're not easy. And the good thing is that once you've killed them, there's a good chance that they will drop more power ammo for you. So you're essentially getting your ammo back if you decided to use your power ammo in the first place if it does drop. I was under the impression that it was guaranteed, but the more I've played through the game, the more I've realized there's a good chance that it drops. It doesn't seem to be guaranteed unless it's a glitch or something. So once again, this is a strategic thing to keep in mind. If you're encountering a public event or something that's very difficult, you need that power ammo, target that elite enemy so you can get a chance to drop more. Next, we're talking about enemy shields. For most normal red health bar enemies, your kinetic weapon is just fine for taking them out. It gets more difficult when your enemy has a shield.
Alright, hey y'all. I'm actually playing a little bit of Destiny 1 here. I went ahead and capitulated and ordered the Destiny 1 collector's set. Just because, without playing Destiny 1, there's a lot of backstory it looks like I'm missing from, going to Destiny 2. So, let's just stream them. Probably won't stream them together. I don't know. Maybe I'll play both simultaneously. But for those of you that have seen Destiny play, I understand if you want to tune out. For those of you that haven't, feel free to stay tuned in. It's a great game. I'm absolutely amazed by it. So today I'm playing on my HMD, and I'm playing through virtual desktop. I'm looking up at a 60-foot screen with a full curvature. So let's play a little. I know I pulled out the VR mask, but I can't plug in my phone cam yet because I'm waiting for a phone call. So, anyways, let's where was I gonna go? Oh yeah, we were just gonna go kill stuff. So we got ourselves a sniper rifle, and we're supposed to make it across this old spaceport, I guess, and it's full of the Fallen. So let's go back to our little machine gun here. And let's see if we can go drag out some people, because I really hate the not seeing anybody. Really looking for... Incoming. Where are they? Incoming where? Oh, that's a ship that's incoming. Wow. The graphics on this are great too. The only difference between Destiny 1 and Destiny 2 is I will be playing Destiny 1 through my Xbox, and I'm streaming that. But I'll be playing Destiny 2 through my Shadow PC, and I'll be streaming that. So the wife and I have taken some stock on what she'd like to play, and she said she's definitely ready to, start with some WoW with you guys. And who knows what she may play in the future, but she wants something that's a little easier to play than a shooter, which I kind of figure. I was kind of shocked when she said, hey, I'm going to play that, but I got to admit, look at the game. It looks great, and the premise of the game is great. So being a VR gamer dad here, you might hear some of my kids in the background. So You know, and I'm still recovering from surgery, so our older daughter's here helping us, and thank God she is. So let's go see if we can get ourselves killed. I mean, progress the storyline. I'm level 2, so right now I'm on the limited Xbox trial, which I guess is going to hold me to level 7. But that's okay. On Tuesday, we'll have the full collection. So, unless I really, play hard, I don't know that I'm gonna. I don't know that I'm gonna find myself using up my demo time. I might end up using up my demo time. Let's see, do we get anybody's attention? Do we have anybody coming towards us? I mean, I don't have a silencer on, so... Is there anybody over there? I think I probably have to go over there. I know some of you are like, oh Mike, we've played this game. We know what you're supposed to be doing. I feel like there's a guy right behind there, so I'm gonna switch over to my submachine gun and move in quite slowly. Alright, hold on, my wife and I are taking care of some of the dailies. 1 second.
picking up signs of an old jump ship. Could be our ticket out of here. There's a ship. Clear them out. All right. Let me see if I can get us out of here. It's been here a while. Hasn't made a jump in centuries.
So I'm streaming a little more than what my schedule is. That's kind of how I want it. If we're having an available moment, if I'm going to play some of the game, I'm going to kick it on for you, and we're going to follow this progress together. So, you know, sorry for those of you that did all this stuff from 2014 to 2016. I will do a little bit of Destiny 2 stuff too along the way, but I really want to do the whole story now that I've watched the compilation last night. I was absolutely amazed. It's an awesome game. I don't know how I did not get into it.
Okay, it's not going to break orbit, but it just might get us to the city. Now, above that transmitter. Bringing you in.
awful nice for me to bring him in, you know, for him to bring me in. I kind of thought I was dead there.
Let's get you home.
We can come back for them when you're ready. How about never? I'm never ready for them. That's such great graphics. Jesus Christ. I don't care which one I'm playing. Whether I'm playing the PC version or, you know, the Xbox One version, they're both fucking amazing. You know what it is too? It's like, but I mean, it goes back to what I've said all along. Xbox is just a Windows 10 PC, guys. You know, so I mean, you can expect quite a bit, though. You know, obviously my Shadow is gonna have better resolution because it has the high-end card. You know, for what I'm doing here, I mean, this resolution looks great. It's coming, you know, at 1080p. You know, I'm not gonna bitch. You know, I have it up on a 60-foot screen through my HMD. Not gonna bitch. Even when I don't, I'm looking at anywhere from a 32 to, you know, 65-inch TV when I'm playing. So I don't feel like, you know, I'm suffering in any way from any kind of graphics issues with either the Xbox or the you know, Shadow PC. The Shadow PC is amazing. By the way, there's a code down below for Shadow PC. So Shadow PC is a Blade PC in the cloud, running a Quadro P5000 NVIDIA graphics card, which is also the Pascal architecture, like the 1080 Ti. It is on steroids with 5 extra gig of VRAM. So you want to kick ass, stay current, and just pay, you know, like a little monthly amount, $35, $10 off if you use my code. You know, we can have these great PCs and never have to worry about whether or not we buy a graphics card again. They say they are working on VR right now, so I'm expecting that that's, you know, going to be something on their list. All right, let me watch this. Thank gosh for the ghost, huh?
Welcome to the last safe city on Earth. The only place the traveler can still protect. It took centuries to build. Now, we're counting every day it stands. And this tower is where the Guardians live.
Alright, well, we should go see the Guardians. We survived the junkyard. Kind of a fitting start for an exo, I think, right? You know, a robot all jumped up and get brought back. Oh no! Not fair. If you set me back, I'm gonna be pissed. Set destination. So is this the next part, guys? I just go set destination and rock and roll, huh? Alright, maybe that's what we do next. Right now we're at the tower. We could go to Old Russia Earth. Let's, you know, I guess, you know, we're where we're at, you know. I don't know. Let's see what happens. I don't know what the deal is. I'm trying to follow the storyline, so you guys will have to help me along where I flounder. Let's see, do I even have you guys unmuted? Oh, I do. Look at that. I'm a little ahead of the game. So, speak to Cade 6 in the Hall of the Guardian. The Hall of the Guardian. It's a cool ship. I mean, cool ship to find, you know, just laying around ready for me to fly it, right? Alright, let's get there. I'm ready. There we go. So we're back where it all of a sudden disconnected us, which, you know, I guess that's fitting. So we'll go into the hall of the tower, and we'll go see what our deal's gonna be. So where do we go? Is that into the tower? No. Go across the yard here. How about, it'd be nice if I had a little guide. Speak to Banshee 44 to place orders for Arms Day weapon deliveries. Okay, I just want to speak to Cade 6 and get this thing rolling. What's going on? Open up. Oh, that's kind of cool. Whoa. Where'd you go? I don't know. There it is. Whoa. Ah! No bastard, I'm trying to take you out there. I'll go put you on my ship.
Actual service, Guardian.
What's this?
Checking log.
Okay. So I guess as I get older in level, I mean higher in level, older in level, higher in level. And it looks like we're supposed to go over here. Alright, sounds good.
Let's get started.
Alright, let's see what we got here. Test day auto rifle. Requires level 38. So we got the auto rifle that we're using right now. We can use a hand cannon. We're not level 4 yet though, so I guess we need to go get some I don't think there's anything here for us really. I don't even know where to start with all this stuff. Weapon parts. Stock refresh. I don't know. I don't know. Look, we got the ghost off attack rifle. So I think we'll stick with that for now, obviously, because we aren't level enough to do anything else. We're level 2. So, alright. So where's my next quest, I wonder? Alright, so this is my, thing. Okay, we just saw that tip. I mean, Jesus, do you need me to do it again? Alright, hey look, we found our, silver. Are you okay? I don't know what's going on there.
How do you take care of that gun, Guardian?
Chest Everest in the tower to spend your silver on unique items. Alright, query failed, could not establish connection. Alright, whatever. It just means there's...
Her name.
What was her name?
Full of light.
I think the store is malfunctioning.
So many Guardians. Sorry, sometimes I forget faces. You have a reputation to keep up now, after all.
What's this? Oh, it's 500. This is 200. This item and its contents are non-returnable. Box of Eververse treasures is celebrating Age of Triumph. Highly likely contain an item not currently owned. Alright, let's do it. So now how do I open that? Is that now in my inventory? Alright, so I go here. Alright, there it is. Look at that. Ah, Cryptarch Mask, a Days of Iron Ornament. I don't know what the hell any of that is. I guess I can sell that. I guess I can do something with that. Dismantle it. An ornament for your Days of Iron armor. I don't know how that helps me right now. I'm not certain. I don't know that the Cryptarch Mask did anything except for maybe change our appearance. I think our normal mask probably is you know what we should be doing.
Bye, Guardian.
Alright, bye. It's been fun. Let's see what we got here. Oh Jesus, man, look at that. So impressed. I honestly can't believe I never played this game. I'm you know, this is my kind of game. Always gotta have a janitor. Alright, where are we supposed to go next? Whoa, stop. Right here, what? Is he talking like it's underground from me where I'm supposed to be next? I would assume so.
Dark changes us all. Even the brightest light.
The traveler picked a winner, eh?
You want a bomb?
Yeah, I can smell the frontier all over you. Hey, you back from the wild? Let's hear the story. What did you find?
Alright, what we got here? Let's equip this new thing that we got from Cade, right? So we'll come here, we'll get rid of the prototype, and we'll put on the Cade armor. Ah, see, now that looks reasonable. Requisition a new weapon from Banshee 44. Okay, I'm with you on that. Okay, so he has like stuff that's, you know, much higher level than me. But, you know, we'll get there. So that's great. So we'll go back and dismiss
Bring
that.
back some stories, Guardian.
I will do that. Where's Banshee at?
Ready the wall. I sense an incoming force.
That's
from
not
the south.
Banshee.
Prepare for a new fight, Guardian.
So if I was Titan, I would be that guy, I guess. So go to that guy. Let's see what we got here. Where's Banshee to give me more weapon? Give it to me. Other side of the wall, obviously.
Guardian,
Ah, cool. What you got for me, hun?
Crota waits. There is so little time.
What are these? Oh, again, these are things I just can't use yet. So, trying to find that, okay, it's gotta be up above.
Ocean, storms.
Yes, the Ocean of Storms.
We've met, right?
Oh, you guys want to do a pistol? Sure. He's with it too. Alright, let's do it. Let's do a pistol. What the heck, for fun, right? Kind of be a gunslinger in this. I like that idea. The Cade 6 type look. I mean, maybe that's what it is, right? You know. I'll have to come back and get an auto rifle too.
Not so long next time.
Or maybe. I mean, I don't even need a rifle. So now what? What do we do now? Look around for the next thing. We've talked to everybody, right?
We need action.
Tell the monarchy they'll have to wait.
I don't know where I'm supposed to go next here. That's the next thing, I guess. I'll look at a walkthrough on Destiny 1.
How about these? Makes your eyes pop.
Oh, yeah. So it's not going to him, obviously.
Get back out there.
Alright, let's get back out there. But why don't you tell me where I'm supposed to go?
Pre-op mission, Sandy to relay, Mario Eritrea.
Oh, so let's go back to my hangar and do a mission, right? Alright, I'm down with that.
The amusement sphere is for recreational use only.
The quartermaster.
Orders from Master Cade?
What's up above? Come on.
When you are ready.
When I'm ready. Got it.
I need a
There
picture
we
on the
go.
left wing. Something I can do for you today?
Ah, yeah, you can give me my ship. What's up? Speak to Zavala and the Hall of Guardians at the tower. Alright.
Good luck out there.
Thank you. Appreciate that. We are going to need it. What are they doing down here?
Would you like to hear more about that orbit, Guardian? What do you need from us?
I can't do it yet, huh? I gotta get enough reputation of some sort
See you
there.
again, Guardian.
Yes, we will. We'll talk again. Everyone's so friendly. Come a long way from being junked in a junkyard, huh? So on a rating, you know, how multiplayer is this game? I mean, how much of it can you do on your own versus multiplayer? Interested in hearing any of your guys' thoughts, but you know, where I should be at, you know, and please help me understand, help me get there, man. I'll be looking at the walkthroughs and all that crap too. you know. Alright, so I'm supposed to go down below again, I think. That's what we're getting to. Alright.
Guardian, your light is needed.
No, leave me alone. You scare me.
Strength and light, Guardian.
Alright,
There's new things he kept back.
here we
Must
go.
have driven him mad.
How can we help? Never doubted you for a moment, Guardian.
Ah, crap. I have to go back to that junkyard. I know, I'm pretending to be upset. Alright, hey, we leveled up. Look at that. I don't know, we might be leveled up past the demo before we get our, I don't know, what do we do then? We just can't do our level up?
Yeah, Cora.
I assume that's
You
what
want
it
to bet a
is.
hunter finds their catch before you do?
So, let's go do something here, right? What is that? Alright, so that's the double jump I was looking for anyways. So there it is, good deal. We got that. I want to be able to summon those flaming pistols, that would be cool. Okay, so for now I think that's, you know, where we're at, right? I'm gonna take a quick break and I'll put on some how-to Destiny. Sorry for those that have already done it. I just need to know what the hell am I doing? So let's pop over here and let's go to our intermission. And while that's working just fine, let's take it. It's Destiny 1 getting started. Destiny 1. Getting started, here we go.
What's going on, guys? Legit MHX here, and welcome to the ultimate complete Destiny pre-Rise of Iron guide. So basically what this guide will be is a brief but extensive overview of everything that is in Destiny. This guide is meant for people that are completely new to Destiny and have no clue what a strike is or what Cabal are. So if you have already played Destiny a good amount, then I suggest you click off this video because it's mainly for people that are new to Destiny and just have bought it or are intending on purchasing it. So before I get started, remember to drop a like if this video does help, and do subscribe, as I am back into Destiny. I'm going to be pumping out so much content in the future, especially when Rise of Iron is released. So without wasting any more time, let's just get right into it. So what is Destiny? Destiny is a sort of MMORPG style game that is relatively first person.
Alright, so let's get rid of that.
The game has a
It's
huge
not
lore and
working.
story behind it that players can get lost into. Basically, an orb called the Traveler has come to our galaxy and brought an enemy with it, and pretty much there is only like one city left in the entire of Earth, and you are a guardian who is going to fight off all the evil, along with other guardians, obviously. Not much backstory really is needed, so I won't go into that too much, but basically you are a guardian and you go and kill enemies. That's all you really need to know regarding the lore. Now if you are interested in the story or the lore, then you can go on to bungie.net, I believe, and read some of the lore, or just watch some other lore videos. There's plenty of those on YouTube. But that is pretty much Destiny's history. Now I'm going to put a table of contents, most likely in the description, so if you guys are looking for a particular thing in Destiny, then feel free to look at that as a reference. Now the first category that I will be covering is pretty much Destiny the game. So Destiny being a RPG style game, you make your own character. So when you're first starting off, you get 3 very tough characters to choose from: Hunter, Warlock, and Titan. All 3 of these are really balanced, and you can just choose whichever one you think sounds cool. Nothing much to it really, they're all really amazing, and you'll be happy with whichever one you choose. You then go through a character customization menu. It's nothing amazing, but it's there to play around with, and it really doesn't matter much because you are going to be wearing your armor most of the time, so it really doesn't matter. Now after you have finished customizing your character, you will start a mission where you'll be outside a place on Earth called the Cosmodrome. Your ghost, which is your companion throughout the journey, will help you finish the mission and will show you Old Russia on Earth. It's pretty straightforward, and after you have finished, you'll be taken to the tower. a place I will give a tour of later in the video. Now I'm going to be going a bit more in-depth into the classes. First I'll cover the Titan. Now each class has 3 subclasses. Titan has Defender, Striker, and Sunbreaker. Each class has their unique abilities and cool stuff that they can do, but in this video I'll be covering mainly their special attacks or their supercharges. When you first start, you will start with Striker, and at level 20 you will unlock Defender, and after doing a quest from the Taken King expansion, you will unlock Sunbreaker. Now each subclass has its own unique supercharge. Striker has Fist of Havoc, which is often called Fist of Panic in the Destiny community. This will pretty much make your character smash on the ground, killing or damaging any enemies that are in its radius. This is best for clearing a group of enemies. Defender has Ward of Dawn, or often called Bubble. This will create a shield sort of like a bubble in which you can avoid damage from whilst inside. This is best for avoiding damage and shielding yourself from high damage entities, i.e. bosses. Sunbreaker has Hammer of Soul, which gives you flaming hammers to throw at your enemies.
With all my lighters, Dallas, you
damage
shut up like
groups
20
of
of them
enemies. Now moving on to Warlock. Warlock has Voidwalker, Sunsinger, and Stormcaller. When you first start, you will start with Voidwalker, and at level 20 you will unlock Sunsinger, and after doing a quest from the Taken King expansion, you will unlock Sunbreaker. Voidwalker has a Nova Bomb, which is often called Nova Bomb. Nothing too special, but it creates an explosive bolt of void light, which you can shoot at your enemies. It can be modified to shoot 3 bombs. It's useful for groups of enemies, and usually the Crucible. Sunsinger has Radiance, or often called Self-Res. That's pretty much self-explanatory. Once you're dead, you can self-resurrect yourself if your super is fully charged. It's useful for raids. Finally, there's Storm Trance. Storm Trance makes you turn yourself into lightning, where you can chain arc lightning and zap enemies. It's good for clearing out large groups of enemies. Now finally, moving on to the Hunter. Hunter has Gunslinger, Blade Dancer, and Night Stalker. When you first start, you will start with Gunslinger, and at level 20 you will unlock Blade Dancer, and after doing a quest from the Taken King expansion, you will unlock Sunbreaker. Gunslinger has Golden Gun. Upon use, a golden gun will spawn in your hands with 3 shots. These will deal massive amounts of damage. It's best for the Crucible, which is the multiplayer PvP section of the game. Blade Dancer has Arc Blade, which upon use will make you have blades and put you into third-person view. From here, you can deal massive amounts of melee damage. This is again best for the Crucible, but it is good with other enemies too. Finally is Night Stalker. Night Stalker has Shadow Shot, spawning in a bow and arrow that has massive amounts of damage. The shot will also spawn an orb which tethers or binds all nearby enemies together and weakens them all. It can be upgraded to 3 shots. All of these supercharges can be modified, and more bonuses can be applied once they are unlocked in the subclass menu. Now all these subclasses do have grenades, melee, special abilities, but I won't be going into them too much. Most of the grenades are similar to each other. They're either grenades that explode and turn into a lot of like seeking mines, or maybe one explosive tracking grenade. There's a lot of variety, and they're all pretty much the same for each subclass, but they are pretty cool. Now they also have special abilities, like the Hunter does have invisibility as a few of the in one of the subclasses. The Warlock does have a pretty cool melee as well, and Titans also have pretty OP melee as well. Now I'm going to go over the enemies and the enemy factions that are in the game. There are 4 main enemy factions that are within Destiny as of today. Those are Fallen, Hive, Vex, and Cabal. You will mainly find Fallen on Earth, Hive on the Moon, and Vex on Venus, as well as Cabal on Mars. However, again, there are exceptions, like you will also find different looking Fallen on Venus as well. Vex can also be found on Mars, and some Fallen also on the Moon. Now on screen you guys should be seeing what those enemies look like. There is also an additional faction that is called the Taken. The Taken are basically an upgraded version of these enemies. They have been upgraded by the Hive god known as Horrocks in the Taken King expansion. They are the same enemies, but sort of black and white, and are much more powerful. Now there are different ranks of enemies. Enemies with a yellow health bar are often referred to as Megas or Ultras. The Ultras are usually bosses. From the Fallen, higher ranking enemies are usually called Captains, whilst the Hive, they are called Knights, and Minotaurs for the Vex, and also Phalanxes for the Cabal. Don't worry about the names of the enemies too much, they're quite irrelevant, but just shoot at all the bad guys. Now these enemies often also have shields. Most of the higher ranking enemies do have shields, not the low ranking ones. These shields overlay their health and obviously must be destroyed to harm the health. Depending on what gun you use can help damage shields quicker, but I'll cover that in the weapons section. Enemies also usually have critical spots. Most of the time they are their head, but they differ. Like the Vex, it's their stomach. But hitting the critical points are obviously the way to go. Now once Rise of Iron does release, a sort of new faction is coming out. This is called Siva. The Fallen have been pretty much like transformed, and now they are like Siva. So they are pretty much being controlled by Siva. This basically means that they are super strong and have crazy abilities that are much harder. They look much more red than before due to the Siva. So those are the enemy factions in the game currently, as of today in Destiny currently. Now as you play the game, you'll get more familiar with these factions, and don't worry if you're a little confused about all these enemies. They'll come pretty easily to you once you start playing. Now moving on, I'm going to be talking about the two major aspects of Destiny, that being PvP and PvE. Now PvP, for those that don't know, is player vs player. This is where you basically fight real life people. There are three specific areas where you can perform PvP: the Crucible, Iron Banner, and Trials of Osiris. Basically the Crucible is your normal multiplayer area. It houses game modes like Control and Clash and Rumble, which are your traditional domination, team deathmatch, and free-for-all. However, none of your weapons within really matters in terms of damage. So like a high level gun will do just about the same damage as a low level gun, and same as for armor. If you have a high level piece of helmet, it will take the same amount of damage as a low level. Everyone has the same health in the Crucible. Now Iron Banner is pretty much Control, but instead your guns and armor do matter. So a gun with higher damage will do higher damage, whereas a low level gun will do low level damage in Iron Banner. This is where you can show off and use all your awesome gear that you earn against other real life players. This event takes place once a month for 1 week. Next is Trials of Osiris. Now Trials of Osiris is pretty much your competitive arena. This is where you go to completely try hard. It's a 3v3 intense game where if you die, then you are dead and you cannot respawn until the next round. But you can be revived by teammates, and obviously you have to annihilate the entire opposite team. I wouldn't advise going into the Trials of Osiris unless you have mastered the Crucible and Iron Banner. The Trials of Osiris usually takes place on the weekends, I believe. Now for PvE. PvE is pretty much everything other than PvP, obviously. It's all your missions and strikes and raids and open world and all of that. Pretty much whenever you fight an enemy, that's PvE. Player versus environment, or some people say enemy. I will cover the missions and strikes and etc. more in depth later on, so stay tuned for that. Now I'm going to go over the planets and the open world. There are basically 3 planets you can visit: Earth, Mars, and Venus. But there is also the Moon, the Reef, and the Dreadnought. All these places except the Reef have an open world, explorable, free roam area. Now what do you do in these areas? The open world provides opportunities to level yourself up, maybe look for gear, or maybe farm some materials. Materials are needed to upgrade your gear, and they can be found on these planets. The Earth has spin metal, the Moon has helium filaments, Venus has spirit bloom, Mars has relic iron, and the Dreadnought has worm spore. The open worlds also have public events. These are cool events that randomly take place, which are sort of mini side missions. These can give cool rewards and experience. Bounties, which are also small mini quests, can also be completed through the open world. Your Sparrow, which is your vehicle, can be used to explore the open world and is your transport. There is also on the Dreadnought a place called the Court of Oryx, and something similar is also coming to Rise of Iron on Earth. However, I will cover that later on in the video. These open world areas are mainly for exploration again, and they are really fun to explore with your friends. Now moving on, I will be discussing missions, strikes, and raids. So starting off with missions. Missions are pretty self-explanatory. They're most of the time linked with stories or quests. Missions can be played with up to 3 players. There really isn't anything much to say about missions, so moving on, we have strikes. Strikes are sort of really hard missions, but they aren't linked to any story. These strikes usually involve killing a lot of enemies to get to a place and then killing a final boss or multiple final bosses. These bosses may have cool mechanics which you have to follow to kill the bosses. Strikes are your best friend when you want to grind for some loot and gear. They take around 10 minutes to complete each, and there are different levels of strikes, but the higher the level, the more rewarding. These are a great way to chill out and just play Destiny with a couple of your friends. These strikes also can give you exotic, which is the highest level of gear that you can get in the game. So watch out for these strikes, they're going to be your best friend in Destiny. Now moving on, I'll be covering raids. Raids are your end game ultimate missions. These things are the hardest things in the game. With a 6-player group and no matchmaking, you have to go through an in-depth mission working together as a team to defeat the raid. These are basically like your heists, except they are much harder. The game does not tell you whatsoever how to solve it. You must work as a team and figure it out yourself. yourselves. Or YouTube is also your teammate when it comes to these raids. There are usually multiple bosses in raids and they take a while to finish. Without any idea on how to solve it, you might not even get through it. And even when you know how to solve it, your group might take days to finish. However, there are checkpoints, but every week they do reset on Tuesday. Currently there are 3 raids right now in Destiny, with 4th coming in Rise of Iron. Vault of Glass, Crota's End, and King's Fall are the raids. Vault of Glass is a Vex-based raid. This was in the original game at release. Crota's End is a Hive-based raid. This was in the Dark Below expansion. And King's Fall is a Taken-based raid. This was in the Taken King expansion or Taken King DLC. The King is pretty much Crota's dad, and you kill him after killing Crota. Yeah. The next raid is called the Wrath of the Machine. This is going to be in the Rise of Iron DLC. We don't know much of the raid, but it looks like there's going to be a really angry machine in it. These raids are by far the most fun things I have experienced in Destiny. They truly are very fun. Yes, you may be on the verge of rage quitting when doing these raids, but working with your team to crawl your way to the end of the raid gives such a good feeling of accomplishment. If you plan on buying Destiny, then you have to and must try out these raids. So now I'll be giving you guys a tour of the tower. Now the tower is basically your social space. This is where you can do pretty much all your behind the scenes work. No actual combat goes behind in the tower. So I'll be giving you guys a tour of the tower. So moving on to the right, you have the Cryptarch. The Cryptarch basically decrypts any engrams that you find. Engrams pretty much look like this, and they will give you gear depending on what color they are. Up top you have the Gunsmith. The Gunsmith will pretty much sell you guns, and he'll also sell you foundry orders, which will pretty much give you guns on Arms Day. He'll also give you miscellaneous items, which can be pretty helpful. In the middle of the tower, you have the Postmaster. This will pretty much give you any items that you have maybe lost in the open world, or that have been gifted to you from the Postmaster, pretty much. In the middle of the tower, you have the Vault. The Vault pretty much houses all your items that aren't on your Guardian. So it's a good way to store all your items that you don't really need right now. Right up top, you have the Bounty Tracker. This guy pretty much gives you bounties to complete. Vanguard and Crucible, PvE, PvP. And they will give you experience and reputation for that faction, and maybe even some materials. Down at the bottom, you have Eris Morn. This is the character that was introduced in the Dark Below for Crota, the raid Crota. You can buy many stuff from her, and they're pretty cool. Next, you have the Crucible Handler, which will pretty much deal with all your Crucible stuff, and you can buy lots of gear from him by getting Crucible reputation. Also, he's the guy that you will be able to get swords from. Next is the Crucible Quartermaster, who will sell a bunch of weapons from the Crucible. And finally, down here you have your Vanguard mentors. Now, respective to your race, you'll have a certain mentor. So if you are a hunter, you will have Cade 6. If you are a Titan, you'll have Commander Zavala, and if you are a Warlock, you'll have Ikora Ray. They will give you armor and ghost and cool stuff. Also, they will give you quests and missions to do in the game. Now, moving to the right, you enter the tower hangar. Down here, you can find Dead Orbit, which is a faction leader. He pretty much will sell you lots of items like armor and weapons. He'll pretty much sell you armor and weapons, but you need to have him ranked up, and this is done by swearing allegiance to the actual faction. There's also 2 other factions that can be found in the tower. You then have your Vanguard Quartermaster, which is pretty much like your Crucible Quartermaster but for Vanguard. He'll also sell you pretty cool weapons. Next, you have Amanda Holiday. She is the shipwright. She'll pretty much sell you ships. And finally, right at the edge of the tower hangar, you have the Future War Cult. This is pretty much another faction, and when you swear allegiance, you can buy their gear. Now, moving to the left of the tower, you enter the tower north. Here you can find Eva Levante, the Guardian Outfitter. She'll give you cool stuff to customize your character, and emblems and shaders. Next, you'll have New Monarchy. This is the 3rd faction in the game. They will also give you cool items if you swear allegiance. And finally, right at the edge of the left side of the tower, you have the Speaker. The Speaker will give you cool items and pretty expensive stuff as well. He'll give you cloaks or special items that correspond to your class. So Warlocks will get the bonds, Titans will get the marks, and Hunters will get cloaks. He'll also sell you Ghost Shell. Now, the tower is a social space, so you're going to see other people here, and you can interact with them, and it's pretty fun. The tower is a great place to find new friends, and if you don't have any friends on Destiny, then this would be a great place to start. That pretty much is the tower. it's a pretty cool place, and it's definitely going to be a place you're going to be visiting a lot. Now I'll be showing you guys the menus that are in the game. So starting off, this planet selection menu. This is where you can set your destination. Starting off at the bottom, you have Earth, Old Russia Earth. Then you have the Moon, the Reef, Venus, the Crucible, the Vanguard, Mars, and the Dreadnought. Going to Earth, you have different things like missions and strikes, as well as patrol areas, which is pretty much your open world. You can also go to the tower, which is pretty much the Traveler. You click on the Traveler, set your destination, launch, and you'll be traveling to the tower. This is also what raids look like. So this is the Vault of Glass, this is Crota's End, and on the Dreadnought, this is King's Fall. Over here you have Crucible. So here you have Rift, Control, Clash, Skirmish, Salvage, and a whole bunch of other game modes. Also, Trials of Osiris is up here. Under the Vanguard playlist, you'll have the Strikes playlist. So the level 36 strike, the level 20 strike, and the level 41 strike. On your bottom left, you'll have some quick selection menus. So you have 2 Crucible game modes, which will change, and they'll give you rewards. This will change every single day, as well as the daily heroic. This mission will change every single day, and you can get lots of marks, legendary marks from it. Later on, I'll be discussing what legendary marks are and what they can do. Also, the Vanguard Heroic Strikes can be directly accessed from here, as well as the weekly Nightfall Strike, which is the ultimate strike, which will give you a lot of good rewards. Now I'm going to go through the menus of your character, so like pressing start. First off, you'll have your character. So up here, you have your subclass selection menu. So here you have Night Stalker, Blade Dancer, and Gunslinger. Here is my primary weapons. So right now I have an exotic equipped. I can change it just by doing that. Down here's your secondary or your special. Again, you can change it pretty easily. Then is your heavy, which is like rocket launchers, machine guns, and like exotic swords. I mean, not exotic, but normal swords as well as exotic swords. Then you have your ghost shells, your helmet, your gauntlets, your chest armor, your leg armor, your special item, which in my case I'm a hunter, so I have a cloak, and then your artifact. Down here you also have some equipment. So you have your sparrow, you have your horn, you have your ship, you also have your shader that's equipped, your emblem, and your emote that you have equipped. Moving to the left, you have a quest menu. Here you can access all your quests and what you need to do. To the right, you have your bounties, so all these bounties that you need to complete. And at the bottom, you have your reputation counter for all your factions and groups. Right to the left, you have your roster with your friends list and everyone that you can invite. You can also change your fireteam privacy settings and join other people through here. In your inventory, you have different things like your materials and your consumables. These are just some things that you can just like hover over and read, and that you'll understand what they are once you receive them. Also, you have like missions and stuff down here that are relevant to things that you're doing. And the consumables are things that you can use. So for example, heavy ammo synthesis will give me heavy ammo right on the spot. Same for special ammo synthesis. Up here is your currency counter. So I have 0 silver right now, 79 legendary marks, and 22,232 glimmer. These are your currencies pretty much. Moving to the right, you have your settings. So you can log out, you can change your brightness, your screen bounce, your audio settings, whether or not you want your helmet on in combat zones, your accessibility, your controller behavior, your look controls, your button layout, and your look and move controls. Now that's pretty much your menus for Destiny. I mean, there's nothing too, no other menus really other than them too. Now I'm going to move on to gear, or more specifically, your weapons and armor. Now basically there are 3 classes of weapons: primary, special, and heavy. Under primary you have auto rifles, scout rifles, hand cannons, and pulse rifles. Under special you have fusion rifles, shotguns, sniper rifles, and sidearms. Under heavy you have rocket launchers and machine guns, and also you do have swords, and once Rise of Iron releases, battle axes. Now weapons classify under 4 damage types, 3 of which are elemental. The elements are solar, arc, and void. The 4th is kinetic, which is just like bullets. Now solar weapons will damage opponents with fire shields, arc weapons damaging arc shields, and void weapons damaging void shields. There are only 3 elements currently in Destiny. Now under armor you have a helmet, gauntlets, chest armor, and leg armor. You also have your special item. This varies between characters. For the hunter it's a cloak, for the titan it's a mark, and the warlock it's a bond. You also have artifacts, which will give you defense and extra perks. Now gear comes in different classes. They go from common to uncommon to rare to legendary to exotic, with common being the easiest easiest to find and exotic the hardest and the best. You must note that you can only equip one exotic weapon and armor at a time, so you have to be very tactical in what you wear and what you use. Now, how do you get gear? Gear can be earned by doing anything really. Missions, strikes, crucible. Raids are always by far the best way to get the highest level gear, but again, they are really hard to do. Sometimes you may get engrams. These will show what class they are, but you must take it to the cryptar and decrypt them to find out what they really are. Hope that it's something high level. Next is the level system. The level system in Destiny is pretty simple. You have two levels in Destiny, experience level and light level. Your experience level caps out at level 40. This is done by just playing and gaining experience. Light level is a little different. Light level is basically the average of all of your weapons and armor's rating. So add all of your armor's defense rating with your weapons attack rating and find the average. That is your light level. So say all my gear is 300 defense and 300 attack. You can expect your light level to be 300. Currently the light level cap is at 335. But that will be raised to 400 once Rise of Iron is released. The best way to level up in terms of experience is to do bounties. They give a lot of experience really quickly. The best way to level up in terms of light is to do the raid and get better raiding gear. There isn't much to it other than playing the game. Choose what suits you best, whether it be strikes or raids or crucible, and grind it. You can level up easily that way. Although raids will always be the best way to get higher light. Now the final thing I'm going to touch on is infusion. This is where you get two pieces of gear from the same class and put a higher rating onto the gear with a lower rating. So say you have a 310 scout rifle and a 300 auto rifle. If I infuse my 300 auto rifle with the scout rifle, then I will get a 310 auto rifle. However, I have lost the scout rifle. So you sacrifice something of higher rating to make something else that rating. It's a good way to level up guns you particularly like and introduce a strategy to leveling up. Next is currencies and materials. Now there is one main currency, Glimmer. This can be used to buy random things. It won't get you any exotics or anything, but it is needed for things like upgrading or infusing or buying rares or foundry orders. You also have legendary marks. This is used to upgrade and infuse legendary items. They can also be used to buy legendary gear. They're very useful and there are a lot of ways to obtain them. Finally is silver. This is sort of a microtransaction currency. With silver you can buy emotes and other cosmetics. But to get silver you need to use real money and buy it off the PlayStation store or the Xbox store. Sorry, I don't know what the Xbox store is called. Now there are lots of materials in the game. I won't go into them too much, but they are very useful for upgrading or leveling up weapons. Spin metal, helium filaments, spirit bloom, and relic iron are the four main materials used to upgrade. Don't get rid of these because you'll be needing them. Also, exotic shards are also very useful. They are used to upgrade exotics. They can be obtained by dismantling exotics. This was just a quick overview of the materials in Destiny. However, the best way to understand them would be just to play the game and find out, because there are quite a few. Now finally, I'm just going to talk about the Court of Oryx. This is a place found on the Dreadnought. It's in the open world. Here, with your friends and other random people on the Dreadnought, you can start summoning enemies and bosses. There are 3 tiers. A reciprocal rune is tier 1, a stolen rune is tier 2, and an antiquated rune is tier 3. You can obviously guess that the higher the tier is, the harder it is. And also the higher the tier, the better the rewards. This is a really fun way to grind with friends and get lots of rewards. And trust me, the Court of Oryx does give heaps of engrams. Now finally, there is also going to be something similar to the Court of Oryx in Rise of Iron on the Cosmodrome. However, we'll have to wait and see how that will exactly work. And with that, we have come to the end of this guide. This was a huge video and probably the biggest video I have made on my channel yet. It was a brief overview of Destiny and I didn't go in depth too much, but it's just for beginners and new people to Destiny as an introduction. Hope you guys did enjoy the video and did learn something from it, and I hope you did find this video somewhat helpful. If you did, then feel free to drop a like and subscribe, because I'll be covering a lot of content regarding Rise of Iron, and most likely I will be streaming it. But anyways guys, I thank you all for watching to the end, and this was once again Legit MHX signing out.
I could tell you of the great battle centuries ago, how the traveler was crippled. I could tell you of the power of the darkness, its ancient enemy. There are many tales told.
told throughout the city to frighten children. Lately, those tales have stopped. Now, the children are frightened anyway.
Yo, what's going on YouTube, and welcome back to another Destiny video. Now today, I'm going to kick off the first in a series of videos where I'm going to be going over the basics of Destiny. Now I appreciate, to many of you, this information is now likely ingrained in your mind and everything to do with Destiny has become second nature to you. But, if you're new to the world of Destiny, then fear not. Throughout this series of videos, I'm going to explain everything you need to know, from taking your first steps as a Guardian, and which class suits you best, to understanding the various currencies in Destiny, and how you'll be using them to acquire that all-important gear. By the end of this series, you should be well versed in all things Destiny, and the prospect of beginning that new adventure shouldn't be quite so daunting after all. So, with that in mind, let's begin. The first video in this series is going to take a look at the 3 classes in Destiny. When you first begin your adventure, you'll be greeted by this screen, and it's at this point that you need to decide the path you want to take. There are 3 classes in Destiny: Titan, Hunter, and Warlock, and in addition to your chosen class, there are also subclasses. Now you can see these as specializations. A subclass will determine the type of character you are and the abilities available to you, so when choosing your class, you have multiple options to consider. Classes in Destiny don't really fall into your typical RPG archetypes, simply because in this game, the notion of tanks, DPS and healers just doesn't apply. That being said, I can still use that framework to explain the behaviours of the respective classes. First up, you have the Titan. If you were looking for a comparison, the Titan would be most akin to a tank. They wear heavy armour, have high defense, and while you are free to play with them in a way that suits you, they do excel in getting the job done up close and personal. The subclasses for the Titan are Striker and Defender. Striker is the most offensive subclass. Your super, Fist of Havoc, will allow you to perform a Hulk smash style attack, obliterating all your surrounding enemies. What's more, this can later be upgraded to a Superman style ground pound for even more impact. And among your other moves, you also have a shoulder charge, for dealing with people up close and quickly. Now on the flip side, you have the Defender subclass. This, as the name suggests, is all about defense. Your super, Ward of Dawn, will summon an impenetrable bubble, drop this during a firefight, and you're shielded from even the biggest explosions, at least for a little while. This subclass also allows you to assist your team by applying different buffs to your shield so that when they pass through it, they receive increases to their attack or their defense. So if you're a team player, this could be a good option for you. Then, next up, we have the Hunters. These are most akin to rogues, or assassins in an RPG framework. Hunters are light, agile, and should they need to be, stealthy. Given that this class, by default, is more about agility, that does mean you won't necessarily want to go ploughing headlong into your encounters like a Titan. As a Hunter, your available subclasses are Gunslinger and Blade Dancer. Your Gunslinger class is more for the ranged fighters out there. Your super will have you summon a golden gun, which carries 3 bullets, each of which will take out your enemies in 1 hit. For the most part, some boss-like enemies don't apply. But, if you're more of an up-close and personal kind of player, then Blade Dancer may be more up your street. Your super will have you summon an Arc Blade, which you can use to take out large groups of enemies in quick succession. And, in addition to that, as a Blade Dancer, you can also go invisible. So the stealthy rogue types, this is where you belong. Then lastly, you have the Warlocks. These guys are space magicians, for want of a better phrase. Much like the Hunters, Warlocks are more agile than Titans, but again, suffer from less armour, so you'll want to think twice before kicking down the door and going in all guns blazing. Your subclasses are Voidwalker and Sunsinger. Voidwalker is the most offensive of the 2. With this, you can use your super to unleash a Nova Bomb, a large void magic projectile that deals devastating damage to surrounding enemies. Whereas your other subclass, Sunsinger, while offensive, also has a range of other applications. Your super is Radiance, and in its most basic form, it can be used to enhance the effectiveness of all of your abilities. However, at a higher level, you can even use it to bring you back from the grave. So, a Sunsinger Warlock can often turn the tide in battle, even when things look like they aren't going your way. Now it's also worth noting that your subclass, no matter what class you choose, is more than just your super. You have a range of grenades available to you, melee attacks, various modifiers to change the way you jump and traverse the environment, and more subtle skills that will alter the stats of your Guardian. So, with all of that in mind, the question still remains, what class should you choose? If you like being in the fray, getting up close and personal with your enemies, and aren't afraid to take a beating, I'd say Titan. If speed and agility is more your thing, perhaps with the helping of stealth, then I'd say Hunter. But if you're looking for a good middle ground, someone who can dish out the damage, turn the tide in battle, and even take a few hits, then perhaps Warlock is more your thing. Also, if you're anything like me, then the way your character looks will also play a big role in your decision. So in short, Titans have big, epic looking armour and wear tabars to show their allegiances. Hunters have more modest armour, but are most recognisable by their capes that trail behind them. And Warlocks dress in robes, with armbands that depict the faction that they fight for. But, with all of that said and done, it's still worth reiterating that Destiny does away with your typical class structures. That means, no matter what class you choose, you can still enjoy Destiny how you want. Sure, there are some differences in your stats, armour, agility, etc., but they are not so drastic that they will prevent you playing your class the way you want. So, once you've made up your mind, it's just a simple case of creating your Guardian. There are 3 races to choose from: Human, Awoken, and Exo, and male and female options for both. But it's worth noting, everything from this point onwards is purely cosmetic. No race nor gender has an advantage over one another, so I'll leave the decision making up to you. Hopefully you found this video helpful, and if you did, be sure to hit that like button and show your support, and if you're not already, make sure you subscribe to be part of the RX Gaming Nation, and so you don't miss all of our daily gaming videos. Remember, this is only part 1 of my Destiny Basics series, so be sure to keep it locked for more from the Destiny universe. Thanks again for watching, take it easy, catch you next time, peace out.
Maybe like during the day, this is time you can stream because there's still kids.
I stream at night and during the day. Yeah, I do both. Exactly like that. My streaming schedule is from 9 p.m. to 1 a.m. Monday through Friday, and then I'm gonna set some weekend time too, but I haven't got to that yet. So we'll see. We will see. Hey guys, I'm back. So doesn't look like we're displaying any game. So let's go back and fix that real quick. Problem, you should always make a new input for those of you that are streaming. I do this all the time. Like I switch it between specific windows, so sometimes I forget. Luckily, I run over on my other PC to see if I'm displaying anything. There you go. I'm displaying something. All right. So we were just watching some of the class choices, a little bit of a primer on Destiny 1, so that was all cool. As you can see, I'm going for the Blade Dancer class. I personally am extremely, I use my physical attack often. For those that watched my Destiny 2 attack, I think I kill people more with my with my blade than I did with my gun. But either way, that's however you choose to play it, that's your play style. So I think the Hunter is definitely going to be the style that I'm going to want to play both in Destiny and Destiny 2. But I'm early on, and this is only day 2, so we'll see. I'm going to pop over and play a little bit of Overwatch here in a little bit, and we'll go from there. So let's do a little bit more of this, though. Alright. So now we have to go back to our, when you finish the tower, press and hold Y to go to orbit. Okay.
Going places.
Alright, so I have to go get a damn warp drive. Yay. Alright, so this is where we set the destination. Alright, and I have a destination, Old Russia Earth. I guess the Divide. And launch, let's do it. So at this point, I've got my my ship. I just don't have my warp, so I have to do that part.
There's so little left out here. We were lucky to even find this ship. A Guardian can't do much to protect the city without one. But it needs a warp drive if we ever hope to fight beyond Earth. And that Cosmodrome is the only place I know where we might still find one. We survived the Fallen once. We can do it again.
Hell yeah, we had that. Survive the Fallen. So we're on our way. We're not on camera right now.
A Guardian ship was recently shot
We're on
down.
voice, but not camera.
The Fallen haven't gotten to it. There might be parts we can salvage.
Good, hopefully there is some parts I can salvage. Okay, 1 second. Just take a look at this. So we have to recon and look for that downed Guardian ship in the steppes. So it looks like to the east, northeast. Okay, let's do it.
ship's avionics are completely catatonic, but I can cull their last transmission. They managed to restore an information hub here, down in the tunnels below. We should check it out. A map of the entire area. What we really need to find is a warp drive, so we can jump to any planet or moon. Our only hope is where we found our ship. We have to go back.
Ah. Ah. That's perfect. That's what I was talking about. Now you can close, you know, turn them to close. And that way I don't get a glare right in my eyes. Oh. Oh. Alright, so let's
Watch out! Okay, you're the boss. Not much longer. Fallen, about to drop on us. Not much longer. Fallen skiff incoming.
Oh, I got focused to stop talking, but I was on mute, so it works out too. So that was a pretty intense little run there. I assume I stopped to get my warp core though, so I think that was like some kind of world event there, right? Am I right? You know, I'm gonna have to rely on you guys to let me know if I'm right on this. I've never played it before, so I like that there's interaction right away with multiplayer. It's just an open world. I guess I didn't really realize that that's what it was. So, anyways, this Tuesday I have the Legendary Collection coming for Destiny 1, and then I have the you know, Destiny 2 Digital Deluxe that that my son so nicely purchased me as a recovery gift by mashing keys. There's something to be said by mashing keys, right? Still owe it to the wife. She's gonna have to buy a pair of shoes or something so that she can feel like, you know, I didn't like plan that. You know, put my little minions to use, you know. Though, I mean, shit, that'd be putting them to use at least. They're funny guys. He seemed like he had a pretty cool frickin' motorcycle thing there. I wish I had one. Hope we're not competing for a warp core. I got hella far away from where my objective was, apparently. I don't understand. I don't know how I got also turned around. It's been a trip here in the junkyard, man. It all looks the same. Alright, so I assume at this point we're making it back to our launch site, and that's where we're gonna pick up our and because it's a shared map, they may have already, you know, knocked out any of the fallen on my way. I'm not certain. Nope, there's some right there. Oh, there's several right there. Who do I want to take out, though, really, when you get down to it? Alright, hopefully they drop some special ammo. Fucker. It's like my knife gets more use than my gun. Alright. It's okay, you just played a little closer there. You need some better armor when you're playing it that way, you know? So I'm showing red. Oh, okay. So now there's another one of those little fuckers. Where's the rest of them? Alright, let's move in. Gotta have, our target's gotta be close, right? Where we found our ship, I think it was right up here. Remember, Ghost said we can get him when we come back, so it was like, I don't know, the gamer's dead over there.
Scanning for the warp drive. Bad news. It's already in fallen hands. I hope you're ready for this.
See, that's how I get down. Like an assassin, bitch. Oh shit, that's how you get down. Like an assassin, bitch. Oh, he's gonna fucking kill me. Wow.
I hope you're ready for this.
Yeah. You and me both. It makes me think I should have taken the assault rifle, you know, y'all? I should have went with the assault rifle, probably. I'd have more shots. Look, I only have 4 on my special there. So it's almost unlike last time where I went in there and I shot and shot. I surely should have just waited and used my special for up front with their special. So, alright. Well, I mean, I can also wait, I think, for additional people here, or I could look for a party, you know, if I need to. So, anyways, it's a good place for me just to take a quick break. So, I'm gonna go ahead and take a quick break, and I'll throw something on the stream during that break. You guys can let me know if you like that format. I think it's better than just, you know, kicking it, doing nothing, right? So, let me kill the stream there. We'll come over here to intermission, which does some screen sharing of mine, as you can see. And let's put on some YouTube. Alright.
The stories tell of a golden age long ago, when our civilization spanned the system. It was a bright and hopeful time, but it didn't last.
Yo, what's going on YouTube, and welcome back to another Destiny Basics episode. Now in this series, I'm going to be covering everything you need to know to get you started in the Destiny universe. From choosing your class and taking your first steps, to understanding the difference between the various factions and all that awesome gear they sell. For Destiny veterans out there, most of this will be ingrained in your mind by now, but you never know, you might still learn a thing or two. And if you're new to the world of Destiny, then fear not, soon it'll all make sense. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about leveling, the difference between XP and light, and the fastest way to get to that all-important max level. First up, before I go any further, I need to explain how leveling works in Destiny. See, it's not like your everyday run-of-the-mill RPG where you grind XP to get to your max level. In Destiny, that's only half the journey. There are 2 ways to level in Destiny. Firstly, through XP, and then through a concept known as light. XP leveling is exactly what you think it is. You begin your journey as a level 1 Guardian, you work your way through various story missions, killing everything that stands in your way, earning XP for your troubles, and upon completing the mission, you receive bonus XP. This goes towards your next level, and you repeat the cycle until you hit the cap. As you level up, you unlock new nodes in your skill tree, and this gives you new abilities. However, it's worth noting that you will hit your XP level cap before you max this out, and after that, you can continue earning XP towards the remaining talents, but your base level will remain the same. So, first up, what is your base level? The answer to that is 20. In Destiny, levels 1 through 20 are earned through good old-fashioned XP grinding. Now you can earn XP in a number of different ways, and I'll cover that shortly, but for the time being, know that once you hit level 20, that's the end of conventional leveling as you know it. Now, we move on to leveling with what's known as light. Light leveling is different, as depending on your gear, your level can go both up and down. See, the way this works is if you look at a piece of level 20 armor, typically it'll have an extra stat alongside those intellect, strength and discipline values. This stat is known as light. Rare or blue armor pieces typically have lower light values, then legendary or purple gear has considerably more, and raid gear and exotics have the highest light values, and it's that which you'll need to hit max rank. But again, I'll go over that in just a moment. By equipping a piece of armor with light on it, you'll notice that the yellow bar on your player card increases. This is the progress to your next light level. If you then equip enough gear to rank up, you'll notice that on the left, my physical level cap remains the same, level 20, but on the right, my light level is reflected by the yellow number. If I then remove a piece of armor, I can then drop down a level. Now you begin to understand what I mean when I said your levels can go both up and down. If you hover over the yellow number, it'll tell you exactly how much light you have. And if you want to know what you need to work towards, Here are the required values for the various light levels. You will see that at the lowest level, to reach level 21, we need a mere 20 light. But to reach the current max, which is level 32, you need a total of 144 light. That's a total of 4 pieces of gear, each with 36 light on them. And it's using this method that Bungie are able to tweak the level caps more easily. You see, when a new expansion comes out, if they want to raise the level cap, they merely raise the light cap and offer you gear with higher light stats. You then earn all of that gear and once again reach the max point. So, with all of that in mind, now let's talk leveling. Or more importantly, the quickest way you can get from A to B or 1 to 32, however you want to say it. The first thing we're going to need to do before we even think about gear is hit that level 20 XP cap. So, at the beginning, your only option is to do story missions, until you hit level 4. Now when selecting missions, you will notice there is an option to change the difficulty, and completing missions on a harder difficulty will yield more XP. But, believe it or not, a lot of the time it's not worth it. Sure, if you happen to be the same level as the harder version, do it. But if you're not, just do it on normal. We are going for speed here, so do whatever is quickest for you. Once you hit level 4, the option to obtain bounties opens up. If you return to the tower and talk to our good old friend Xander, he will offer you bounties. Now bounties come in 2 main forms. There are actually more than 2, but they are tied to events and I'll come to that in a separate video, but for the time being, these are all you need to worry about. You have Vanguard bounties and Crucible bounties. Vanguard bounties are PvE related. They're tied to stuff you do in the open world, killing enemies, landing precision kills, completing certain missions, etc. While Crucible bounties are tied to PvP activities, i.e. shooting other Guardians in the arena. These can be a little more tricky and can be a bit time consuming, but they do still have their uses. For the time being, however, you want to focus on Vanguard bounties. Our main aim right now is just to complete all of the story missions in conjunction with the bounties, then once we finish that, we'll work out what to do next. So, once you're level 4, grab as many Vanguard bounties as you can and return to your story missions. You now want to work your way through the campaign as quickly as possible, so again, ignore those hard options if it proves too challenging, but make sure wherever possible you're completing bounties at the same time. For example, some bounties will say have you land precision kills or consecutive melee kills. Either way, whatever they are, factor these into your missions. Every time you complete a bounty, once you finish a mission, return to the tower and hand it in. So, assuming you do all of that, by the time you complete the final story mission, you should be somewhere in the realms of level 16 to level 18. At this point, we have a few options. If you're not quite level 18, I'd suggest picking up those Crucible bounties and playing a few rounds to complete them. You can generally ignore the more difficult ones like going on sprees or landing melee kills, etc. Just focus on the ones that are like kill 25 warlocks or land X number of headshots. Again, the idea is to factor these into your playtime and not have them cause you to deviate from the path. Alongside that, Crucible does give some pretty good XP anyway, so assuming you combine these two, then it should help bridge the gap. You may even find you hit level 20 this way. If so, awesome. If not, then I suggest taking part in strike missions, using the strike playlist. The strike playlist is an option you'll find on the map where it will have you replay strike missions at higher levels. The first one, Strike Eagle, is level 18. Now the reason these are good is because not only are you getting XP along the way, but you're also earning Vanguard reputation and Vanguard marks, which will be extremely important in your quest for legendary gear. So, once you've done all of the above, you should now be level 20. You've now hit your XP level cap. Now, we need to start leveling using light. So, as I previously explained, in order to do this, you need to obtain gear that has light on it. If you've been doing those strikes in the strike playlist, you may have even already picked up a few pieces of rare gear with enough light to boost you up a couple of levels. But if not, don't worry. See, the other reason you did strike playlists is because you were earning marks, Vanguard marks, and those are used to purchase legendary gear from the vendor. In the tower, down in the main war room, are your respective class vendors. Speak to them and you'll see that all of the purple gear, the legendary gear, have 33 light per piece. This will obviously change with future expansions, but for the time being, this will get you to level 31. In order to buy this, you need to be Vanguard rank 2. That requires a total of 2,000 reputation points. Thanks to all those bounties you completed and the strikes you've been doing along the way, you should either be there or be very close. Once you hit rank 2, you want to begin buying armor pieces. There is, however, one more thing you need to know. See, in addition to Vanguard marks, there's a new currency item known as Vanguard commendations. These are earned from Vanguard packages which you receive every time you rank your Vanguard reputation up to a new level starting at level 3. 2 of the armor pieces require commendations, the helmet and the chest, whereas the other 2 pieces you can buy outright. So, using what marks you have, buy whatever pieces you can and equip them. By now, your light level should be a little bit higher. If you are in need of more marks, then you can go back and complete more strike playlists. And if you've leveled up thanks to your armor, then you can take on the higher level strike playlists. They yield more marks and the rewards are better. You might even snag yourself a free legendary piece of gear which saves you from buying it. Do note, however, that there is a cap of 200 Vanguard marks per week. Once you hit that, you'll need to wait until Tuesday, the weekly reset, before it refreshes and you can start earning them all over again. If you hit your cap and you only have, say, 2 pieces, then you can also buy armor from the Crucible vendor, so you can similarly begin building reputation with him. There is also another option. See, instead of saving to buy 4 pieces of armor, you can instead wear 3 and an exotic. Exotics have a light stat of 36, and this will help you get a little bit closer to that final light level cap. See, in order to hit the cap, you either need 4 pieces of raid gear, or 3 pieces and an exotic. Now exotics are either earned randomly from Nightfall strikes, which are the level 30 weekly strikes you'll find on the side of your screen. Alternatively, there's an NPC known as Zur, Agent of the Nine, who comes to the tower every Friday and stays till Sunday morning, that's GMT. He sells exotic gear and weapons every week in exchange for a currency known as Strange Coins. Strange Coins can be earned by completing weekly heroics and also by decoding engrams, and if you have enough, then you can purchase an item from him. You need 13 Strange Coins for a piece of armor. So, assuming you've done all of that, you should now either be clad in 4 pieces of legendary gear, or 3 and an exotic. Now you simply need to level them up. Just like when you earned XP, completing bounties, missions, strikes, and crucible matches will earn you XP, and that goes towards leveling up your gear. Handing in bounties is by far the most effective and quickest way to level up gear and weapons, so again, make them a big part of everything you do. Armor upgrades will cost glimmer and materials which you find around the world, or you can buy them from Vanguard or Crucible vendors. Once you get to the final column of upgrades, you will also need Ascendant Shards. Now these can be earned through completing daily quests, participating in public events, dismantling legendary gear you don't need, and also in the Vault of Glass, Destiny's very first raid. Once you have enough, max out your upgrades and you should be 1 level below the level cap. Right now, that's level 31, but if you're watching this in the future, that may be level 33, 43, who knows. Either way, this gear will place you just below where you need to be. The last leg is done through raiding, and this is where your progress is slowed, and arguably out of your hands. See, in the raid, by completing certain segments, you'll be awarded armor and weapons, but you have no control. This is completely down to the random number game, or RNGs as we like to call it. And just like the Nightfalls and Heroics, you can only get rewards from a raid once a week. Once you've completed it, you have to wait till the Tuesday reset to try again. So if you complete the raid the first time and you don't get any armor pieces, then that's an entire week where you're stuck at the same level. There is a way to improve your chances, but it requires a little more time investment. See, a lot of players have 3 characters, but not how you might think. Notice how all of mine are hunters, 1 level 32 and 2 30s. This is so that I can run the raid 3 times a week as a hunter, which means all of my drops are relevant to my main character. Whereas if you have 3 different characters, then you have 3 different types of armor that you need to acquire. I can then simply use my vault to move my gear around between my 3 different characters, and I can turn my 30s into 32s in an instant. So, fast forward again to the point where you've got all your raid gear, then just like before, once you have a full set, you level it up, and you then hit level 32, or whatever the respective level cap is at the time. Now I appreciate there was a hell of a lot of information there, but that's because there's a lot to know about leveling in Destiny. So, hopefully it made sense, hopefully you found it helpful, and if you did, leave a like and show that thumbs up button some love, and if you aren't already part of the RX Gaming Nation, then be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a single video. There's more to come in my Destiny Basics series, so stay tuned for more, and if you missed the first video, then there's a complete overview of Destiny's classes and subclasses, so check that out if you've yet to get started. Thanks again for watching, take it easy, catch you next time, peace out.
There was a time when we were much more powerful. But that was long ago. Until it wakes and finds its voice, I am the one who speaks for the Traveler.
Yo, what's going on YouTube, and welcome back to another Destiny Basics video, your guide to getting started in the Destiny universe. So far in this series, I've gone over the 3 classes in Destiny and how their respective subclasses will alter the way you play, and I've also explained how leveling works in Destiny, the difference between light and XP, and how to get to the max level as quickly as possible. So, by now, if you're new to the world of Destiny and are following along with this series, you should be well on your way to max level. So, with that being said, today's video is going to talk about stats and vendors. While you'll spend most of your time in Destiny out in the open world, shooting evil aliens, collecting awesome loot, and just in general defending the galaxy, you'll also spend a fair amount of time in the tower. Consider this as your home from home. As you will have already experienced having started the game, the tower is home to a variety of NPCs, or vendors, a lot of whom will be important to you as your Guardian climbs those all-important levels. Some vendors you'll visit more than others, but regardless, I'm going to start off this video by giving you a rundown of who they all are, where you'll find them, and why they matter, or don't in some cases. And then, I'm going to put my number hat on and talk about armor and weapon stats. So, first up, if you're setting foot in the tower for the very first time, right in front of you as you spawn is this red and black robot. Believe it or not, most people walk straight past him and don't even realise his purpose. But if you take the time to interact with him, you'll see he provides a rather handy tower map. This is going to help me show you where everybody is. So first up, as soon as you walk up the stairs, to the left is Tess Everest, Special Orders. You won't interact with her much in your Destiny adventures, in fact you'll basically never talk to her. But in the event you have some special DLC items like this red ghost shell or the EV30 tumbler, then you can pick them up from her at any time on any of your characters. Then, moving around the corner, you have Kadi 5530, the Postmaster. This is one NPC you'll be visiting all the time. Anytime you receive items in the post, you can come and claim them here. For example, if you rank up your Vanguard rank, your reward package is here. Or if you're out on a mission, you receive items as rewards but your inventory is full, they'll come here. And similarly, if you're out and about and you miss or forget to pick up an engram, it'll also come here. And more importantly, if you're in orbit, then this icon here will tell you you have mail, so you know instantly if it's worth flying down to check in. Then up the stairs from there we have Xander 9940, the bounty tracker. I spoke about him in quite a bit of detail in my last video, but again, this is an NPC you'll be spending a lot of time with. He issues you bounties and you return to him to hand them in. Seeing as bounties are a fundamental part of leveling and ranking up in Destiny, he's right up there as one of the most visited inhabitants of the tower. Then if you turn right from Xander and go straight ahead, you have the gunsmith, Banshee 44. Now in all honesty, once you pass your initial few levels, you'll basically only ever have one reason to return to this guy: to buy ammo synthesis, primarily heavy ammo synthesis. If you've never used one before, these are used to replenish your ammo supply when you're out and about. You'll never need the basic ammo synthesis, seeing as your primary refills itself if it runs out, and more often than not special ammo drops quite frequently. But heavy ammo synthesis is a must, especially when you start raiding. Having rockets for that launcher or bullets for that machine gun can be a game changer. However, as you'll find out shortly when I talk about the other vendors, there are alternate means to acquire heavy ammo synthesis, which almost make poor Banshee here redundant. Then, turning right again, going down the stairs, you have Master Rahul, the Cryptarch. He is used to decode engrams, those coloured green, blue and maybe even purple containers you see rolling around the world when you kill your enemies. Bring them to him and he'll turn them into items. Word of warning, Destiny players will tell you he's cruel and more often than not the item you get back isn't what you wanted. But unfortunately you have no control over that. He deals in random numbers, and while he does have a reputation system on the side, it does very little to improve your odds. That being said, if you max out or rank up one of his reputation levels, you'll get a reward package at the Postmaster, usually containing a few more engrams, so it's not all doom and gloom. Now, moving on from there, that's everyone in the main area except Eris, but we'll talk about her later on. For now, let's go downstairs. First up, to your right, you have Lord Shax, the Crucible Handler. He is your vendor for Crucible gear, and you can buy armor pieces in
Alright everybody, I'm back. Let me get the screens all right here. Live scene. Here we go. Alright, so I'm bring back up my Xbox stream. Alright. Should be seeing that pop up there on the screen there. Huh, what's going on here? Let's see. Games. Let's do this real quick. Done. And then, window. And now that should be doing it, so. Let's see what happens. There we go. Alright. So, I was away a little too long, so they kicked me back up to space. Which is definitely going to make things a little harder, right? So. Alright, so let's upgrade. Cool. Alright. We'll take that. That gives us the our special. I gotta stop saying especially when I hear myself in the background. Coming from my I just did it. Coming from my main rig, I hear I hear it again. It's the Beavis and Butthead show. He said fire, 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 fire. Yeah, fire. Alright, let's see. I'll have to get some good little clips for that, you know. And, get good at using my OBS software and flip over to them when I have those moments. So, alright, so we chose the primary weapon of the hand cannon, which I'm not regretting. I think to be honest with you, this had a better style for us, so maybe we should have went with the maybe we should have went with the auto rifle of the same level. The same level. We're gonna keep doing that. Alright, anyways. So I don't want to annoy the hell out of you guys and have you, you know, unfollow me. So I'll stop trying to go Let's see. We're gonna set a destination. I'm actually just gonna go here for a second. I wonder if we can choose to have our I did it again. Switch out our pistol for an auto rifle. Let's see what we got here. So we'll go here. We'll go to launch. So for those of you tuning in, I know this isn't Destiny 2. I bought the Destiny 2, so I have all that and I could play it. But I got to play in Destiny 2, and it only took me like 10 minutes to realize that I totally want to be able to play the whole series. That it is the coolest, you know, storyline, genre shooter that I've probably ever seen. So so it captured my fancy right away. I figured, well, you know what? I'm gonna play this thing right from the beginning all the way through. I might do some concurrent, you know, Destiny 2 stuff. I'll obviously thread some Overwatch in there because I like to keep it light, or some Smite. But I would like to, you know, share with you guys my adventure through the Destiny world, since I've never been there before. I'm going to try to stay away from a lot of the guides, so I do play them at intermission, and I do hear some of the tips, but for the most part I want to try to figure it out myself. So the first thing I've noticed is I'm not real big on the pistol, which blows me away, because I love the pistol. But like when I was playing when I was playing Smite, not Smite, excuse me, Overwatch, I was using the Reaper, who uses pistols, right? So I mean, I really felt like, well, that would be good, you know, to use him. I'm still not really, I'm not really happy with him though. So I mean, with the pistol, but that might just be being new.
I got what you need.
All right, well, what do you got for me? We will accept it. We need a hunter cloak.
Just between you and me, this is why you're my favorite.
I love it. This is why you're my favorite.
And back to the wild with you.
What does a hunter want with
Off
your luck business?
you go, yo. That was funny shit.
Let us help you, Guardian.
I don't know that we got our
Excellent.
warp drive yet. So I think we still have to go back and get our warp drive. But we got another quest we can do too. Anything good. I got you, buddy. I got you. Hey, you know, when they have like an exclamation and a box next to them, does that mean they have something for me?
Learn.
Come, Guardian, learn.
Emerald flame. His sword. You've held it.
But what would you have for me? I mean, you kind of acted like you were going to give me something. Summoning Ruin. I don't think this is for me. Ghost Manufacturing Package. Instantly replenish special weapon ammunition. That's kind of cool. But she doesn't actually have that.
Don't let them take you.
I won't. I'll try really hard not to let them take me. Thank you. Thank you again. I don't want them to take me. Scared. I'm scared of being taken. What we got here?
This looks interesting.
Okay, so we'll select an Ingram to decode.
Very lucky, Guardian.
What did we get? Did we get a gun? I was just complaining I needed a gun, so I love it if we did.
Be careful.
I will. Thank you, Master Rahul. Alright, let's go find that gun dude. He was around here somewhere. Well, maybe we should just take a look at our own stuff, but I was hoping to find that gun dude. Where was he? I think he is back out here. I love that it's an MMO. That's the part that really just blew me away, is that you're playing online with a bunch of people. It seems to still have a pretty darn good population, so that's great. All right.
So many fit.
Yeah.
You've come to the right place.
I know I have. That's why I came to you. Let's see, the automatic rifle or the scout rifle. It's a flexible weapons platform. That requires level 6. That requires level 4. That requires level 8. So this is our choice right now. This is what we're gonna use. I mean, I have a feeling this is what we're gonna end up using. Alright. So let's go open our character. And let's swap this out for this. And then let's put our heavy weapons in. Oh, it requires level 12, but check that shit out. That's pretty badass. Rocket launcher. Alright, I'll take it. Alright, I think I'm gonna feel a little bit better with that now as my thing. And then can I buy one of these?
Anything else?
Alright, no, I just needed to be good to go. Alright, so let's how do we get back up to orbit? Just hit Y. Hit X. Hit A. Jump up and down. Hit start. What was it? Hit select. No tracked item, no tracked quest. Where the hell's the hangar now? Oh, there it is. Alright, so here we go. I feel like such a noob, but in my defense, I worked so many hours when I work as an IG consultant or when I was building out Blue Shield's infrastructure. I know, excuses. What's next, VR? But you know, really, I mean, lots and lots of hours. That was an alternate reality I wouldn't push upon anybody, you know, so much more prefer my virtual realities like this. So I couldn't have qualified for any of these things. These are, I could have probably waited another level and got that one. The rate of fire looks pretty good. Alright, we'll just have to remember Shitsy's here, and we'll come back to her. Right now, I just want to get down to my ship and get out of here.
Let the executor mock us.
Yeah. Let him do whatever he wants, I agree. Let's get rolling. Damn it, how do I get to my ship? Alright, you know I had to do it. Let's try it again. Oh yeah, this is how VRKnightz gets down. Boom. Let's drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. Alright, I'm done now. I'll point. I'll point at something. And salute. I salute you, nothingness. What's this guy got going on?
Good luck out there, Hunter.
Thank you. What are you doing? Wow.
It's an honor just to be among Guardians.
Those could have been my friends. Okay, I want to get going. So this is cool and all, but I want to get back to orbit. Did I hit start and just go back to orbit? Was that the deal? So I've got all these different quests to do. Character, inventory, of course. I mean, there they go, right? That's where we're trying to go. Is our bird over there? Okay, I'm obviously missing something. I do not know why I'm missing it so blatantly. Is it her? Here.
Looking for a new set of wings?
No. I mean, if you gave me something cool. No, I'm not. I'm not looking for anything apparently.
Thank
Alright.
you, Guardian.
Thank you. There we go. I held I hit the select key. Such a noob, I know. Alright, so we have to go back to the junkyard. And we gotta get that that warp drive, we need it. So let's go there now. Here we go.
There's so little left out here. We were lucky to even find this ship. A Guardian can't do much to protect the city without one. But it needs a warp drive if we ever hope to fight beyond Earth. And that Cosmodrome is the only place I know where we might still find one. We survived the Fallen once. We can do it again.
Agreed.
I hope you're ready for this.
Yeah, I hope I'm ready for this too. Alright. Alright, I feel a lot better with the assault rifle. It's a little more my style. I'll use my LB. Alright, hold on. let's see. We want to go to our inventory. Because that's kind of why we bought this, right? I mean, that was the idea. Is so that we would refill. Alright, so we've got 7 shots. But the question is, do we use them? Alright, let's do it. Damn it, he cannot be behind me if I'm at... Holy crap, I am dying. Jesus Christ.
I hope you're ready for this.
Do you? Obviously I wasn't this last time. What makes you think I'm going to this time? Because I'm gonna charge these fuckers. Can't believe I can't even fucking take out the frickin' things here. We could get a little... Dude, who am I trying to frickin' hit? Broadside of a barn, obviously.
It's in the walls.
Oh, damn. Killed my ass something fierce. 2 deaths. Is that a full reboot? Hey, the family's getting ready to leave, so that's the background noise. 1 second.
It's in the walls.